This morning I made a video. I asked Yoruba, is Para a Yoruba land? Why are you people not talking about the 172 people that was slaughtered by Fulani? Why are you people kept silent? Why are you people not talking? If it is about Igbo, you say Igbo, say Lagos is no man's land. You start coming to media, you make noise, you make all manner of threats. But your para 172 people were slaughtered by the terrorist Fulani, by the terrorists enabled by your Remi and your drug lord Tunumbu. None of you come out and make noise. Just because you have a deal with Fulani, just because you want to be that Yoruba is the one leading, you will cause yourself a very big damages that when you will realize that these damages has affected you, it might have or it would have been eating very deep on you people. And coming out of it will be very, 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 very disastrous. So Yoruba, you are ready. I have been in Yoruba land. I have been in Yoruba. I have seen that what they are after is they are ready to serve one man. They are ready to dobale. They call it dobale for one man, just for food. These are the most useless set of people on the earth. Remi Osuban, Remi, whatever they call her name, I don't want to care, is a terrorist woman. Her husband is a drug lord, a terrorist. Because that man called Tunumbu is ready to kill all Nigerians for him to go to still become the president, even though he's on the point of dying. Yet that president, whenever he hears that president, he will wake up from the dead. So I just want to make it known to Yoruba people that it is very, very obvious that their own is finished. They are finished. I am asking them if they are hearing my voice. This is a question that I want them to answer me. Is Kwara still a Yoruba land? Thank you very much. I yield my mic here.
Thank you so much. Yeah, King David, are you still there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me, please?
Yeah, please go ahead before we go to the next one. Welcome.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you so much, our sister, the tutorial mistress. Thank you so much for holding us, bringing us together again today. And thank you, our brother, the Totiville. Greeting from here. Onyenyere, greeting from here. Our minister, love. Akobundo. You know, before I was saying Akobundo. 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 Thank you so much, Minister. That was a wonderful submission, Minister Betty. Greeting from here, wonderful Biafrans, lovers of freedom. Greetings from here, and I send my greetings to our indefatigable Prime Minister, His Excellency Honorable Ogechukwu NKERE, our Information Minister, the best Minister of Information that Biafra could have in this 21st century, the Okokondem of our time, Mazi Sonia Akbarawa. Greetings from here. All the cabinet members of Brigi, I doff my cap for you guys. The Biafran Defense Forces, Triple General Igwe Butuzo, and the chairman of the CDS Biafran Defense Council, Mazi Success. Greetings from here, Biafrans who are supporting the liberation of their land. Remember, today is yet another wonderful day to come and support our freedom. Very, very important. Greetings from here, and all protocols duly observed as have been established by the host and the co-host as well. So yes, I want to really talk on the issue of Nigerian total insecurity. Security failure has made Biafrans to be mentally tough. Yes, Nigeria is a contraption that everything is possible. You know, if you can remember some years ago, they told you that a snake, it went into their national daily as a news. Even NTA carried it, that snake swallowed money. They also came out and told you that a monkey made away with billions and billions of dollars and naira as well. So Nigeria is a contraption that anything is possible. The security situation in Nigeria is something that it has, the only solution to it is the division of that evil contraption, evil entity. But one thing is very, very important that Biafrans must bear in mind. Remember what our leader, NNAMDI KANU, said. He said that Nigeria will be destroyed beyond recognition. So while the security challenges are there, you will see that the issue of Nigeria for the world, the international community, the policymakers, the world leaders to see the porosity, to see the ineptitude, to see the atrocities that Nigeria have continued to commit against the indigenous people. Our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, if you go back to one of his broadcasts, he said that everything in that evil contraption will be destroyed. So while the security challenges are there, you see how the politicians are being exposed all over the world. In other words, why the world is knowing that Nigeria is a slaughter camp, is a slaughterhouse, is a place that is very, very dangerous for human beings to inhabit. It's an evil forest. It's a human abattoir. It is also made possible for the people to see that those who are in charge of the affairs of Nigerians are also animals in human clothing. So the issue of these politicians being exposed in America is something that our leader have already told us, made us to understand that at the time we finish with Nigeria, that name Nigeria will go into oblivion. And whenever they mention Nigeria, you'll be hiding your faces in shame. So this is what is applicable to all these politicians that are in Nigeria today. So the security challenges that Nigerian government are facing can never be abated. It has no solution. The only solution is the total disintegration of that evil forest called Nigeria. Very, very important. And the earlier Biafrans understand this, irrespective of whatever you have in Nigeria, irrespective of whatever you are gaining in Nigeria, either you are gaining political position, either you have property in Sokoto, in Kaduna, in Kwara State, either your children or your son married one Alhaji, the earlier you understand that the only thing that can guarantee your safety is Biafra, the better for us, Biafrans. So we are calling on Biafrans in diaspora, in the homeland. This is the time for you to come on board and support Biafra Republic government in exile under the leadership of Prime Minister Ogechukwu NKERE, because it is this government that is going to take us to our destination. With what is being done in Washington, D.C., you don't need a soothsayer to you don't need even a prophet to prophesy to you, to tell you that something is actually happening. I came in, although it's not part of what we are saying, but let me just say this. I just barged into a video where some ignoramus, some people who want to continue to deceive Biafrans, some who want to continue to lie on the pedestal of IPOB Nigeria, to continue to promote falsehood on social media. I saw where they were using it in order to garner some support, to defraud our people of their hard-earned money, telling them that, oh, they want to fund whatever, they want to hire this and hire that. that, oh, that the actions of Briggy is not being recognized in Washington, D.C., or that Briggy is not making any wave, that Biafra is not being discussed. And I ask you, Biafrans who are listening, if you go to our website, www.biafranrepublicgovernment.org, all in small letters, you can be able to feed your eyes and use your tongue and count your teeth in what Briggy is doing with our lobbyists and our attorney in Washington, D.C. Then if you come in contact with people who try to deceive you, who try to tell you that, oh, what is being talked about is only Christian persecution, you ask yourself, all these meetings that the PM was having with Washington, D.C., even while the first prime minister was here, were they speaking about Christian genocide? Was Biafra not being brought to the table? Was the Charter of Biafra not given to Washington, D.C.? All these senators, do they not have copies of the Biafran Charter? So if they have the copies, inside the content of the Biafran Charter, is it only Christian genocide that is being contained in the Charter? That is for those of you who are listening to gossip. That is for those of you who want to be deceived by mere propaganda, by people who want to make money out of Biafran restoration projects. So Biafran restoration is on top gear as we speak. Our Prime Minister Ogechukwu NKERE, in conjunction with our attorney and our lobbyists, LAS, they are doing exceptionally well to make sure that even the security failures of Nigeria is used as a yardstick for the world to understand that Biafra is the only thing that can bring security, that can bring tranquility, that can restore the hopes of the people in that evil contraption called Nigeria. There is nothing else. So Nigerian government is doing everything possible to make sure they implement their template of Sharia. And in implementation of that template of Sharia, there must be insecurity all over Nigeria. You need to go down for Sharia to be implemented, because Sharia Islam is the only religion that have continued to grow faster and faster. And they grow through conquest. They grow through invasion. They grow through conquest. They conquer you, they take over your land. Islam is the only religion that continue to do that. So for that to happen in Nigeria, you have to have security challenges. So the security challenges you have in Nigeria is man-made, and it is the government of Nigeria that is sponsoring it. And because of that, that have given the Biafran people the courage, the impetus to be able to know and stand on our ground that it is Biafra or Biafra. Because if we continue to make yourself available to Nigeria, for Nigeria to exist, you have to go down. Okay? For Nigeria to continue to exist as a contraption, you have to go down as a Christian. You have to go down as a Biafran. So that is the reason why we must stand our ground to support this government to make sure that Nigeria goes down. Because for Biafra to come up, Nigeria needs to go down. Thank you so much. I yield my mic because I'm being...
Okay. Thank you so much, King David, for your submission. Yeah. Thank you. God bless you. So, Biafrans, if you are just joining, kindly share the space. We will not take so much time. We have fundraising today. So we'll be managing our time. We have a lot
Okay,
to
sorry.
cover this
Let me
night.
just round up. Sorry, my dear sister. Let me just round up. Please, I'm so sorry. And somebody just distracted me. So for Biafra to emerge, Nigeria need to go down. And our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, made us to understand that Nigeria must be destroyed beyond recognition. How do we destroy Nigeria? Nigeria is being destroyed by disinformation, by all these atrocities that is happening in Nigeria, by creating that awareness, letting the world know of what Nigeria is all about. Are you surprised that a lot of people are coming up now and talking about, oh, there is Islamization this, there is Islamization that everybody needs to separate, everybody needs to go their separate ways? Is everybody surprised? But at 2015, when our leader was saying that, everybody was paying deaf ears. Nobody wanted to listen. Nobody wanted to talk about it. Nobody wanted to ask Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, how did you get this information? What should be done? Even when our leader gave them the expo on what should be done to make sure that the Islamization agenda never holds,
They
they
call
didn't
him
listen. But right now,
one month.
everybody is now talking about separation. Everybody is now telling you that the Islamization agenda is in top gear. It is that process of destroying Nigeria that is why you are seeing all these things happening. So for Nigeria to be buried, eventually, the world, Nigerians as well need to know that Nigeria is unworkable. Nigeria is unsustainable. Nigeria is a human abattoir. So what you see happening in Kwara, what you see happening in Sokoto, what you see happening in Middle Belt and all the rest of this area, it needs to happen for the world to understand that yes, this is the time for Nigeria to be divided, for people to have a sense of belonging, for people to have peace, for people to live in peace, for people to develop. The world need to know. And if it does not happen, the world will not know. Now that it's happening, Biafran should capitalize on it. We have to create more awareness. We have to make people understand that our leader have said, we even give them references that our leader have said this time with that number. Is it now that you people are waking up? But now that you people are waking up, we thank you. We appreciate that. Let us continue to support our government. The government of Brigi, under Prime Minister Ogechukwu Nkere, is on top notch. They are doing exceptionally well in Washington, D.C. And remember, like our Prime Minister said, it is what they want to come to public, in the public domain, that the people will know about. Anyone that is not brought, it is not declassified, you are not going to know about it. So when you see them ranting and telling you, oh, Biafra is not discussed, this and that, ignore them. They want to get relevance. They want you to believe that they tell them to give you a link. Tell them to give you where you can go and read it up yourself. Don't allow anybody to deceive you. Like we are telling you, if you go to our website, everything that I've said here is in the open. It is not hidden. So you can make judgment for yourself. And that is the reason why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said that we must be whiter than white and whiter than snow. How can you be whiter than white and whiter than snow? By making sure that everything you are doing is very much transparent. It is not hidden. We are not underground. We are visible. BRGIE is doing exceptionally well, visibly for the world to see. And that is why you can see the result that is happening today. Biafrans, today is another fundraising. Come and support the quest for restoration of Biafra, because it is capital intensive. Our lobbies, our attorneys, and the restoration itself need funding, need finance. And we are banking on every one of you to come and support Biafra restoration. Very, very important, so that we can go home earlier enough and our leaders will be released. Thank you so much. I've taken time. I yield my mic.
Thank you, King David. Please, we have to manage time. If not, we'll not be able to cover what is stipulated for today. And let's stick to what we are discussing in each of the sections so that we don't finish our talk in one session. That will make people to be more engaged in the space. And please also make good use of the comment section. You can drop your comment there and then we will integrate it as we are saying, going through the space. Don't just say, okay, I'm not on the mic, I cannot speak. We need comment from the comment section. Yeah, you can type something, we'll read it out. I always look at the comment section, please. Okay, thank you so much, King David. God bless you for that submission. So now we have finished with Remy. We will still integrate it later, how God have exposed her and disgraced her to the world. The people that did not even know her, They were able to see the face of the wife of the terrorist. Yes, in Washington, D.C. Going there to deceive the world. Oh, I'm the wife to the President Tinubu. They said, yeah, you are the wife to that man that fell down in Turkey. He said, yes, that is my husband. They said, but you look a little bit stronger than him. He said, don't worry. It's because he's on drugs. That is why he has been falling down anywhere he goes. It's not the first time. I'm here to represent the drug lord. She ended up disgracing herself. Yeah, secondly, if you are just joining the place, I've seen some people on the mic that are like this best Biafra. You have not shared the space. Kindly share the space in case you've forgotten. Please, if you are joining the space, kindly share the space. Thank you so much. So, do you know where all your money has been going to? All the one in Nigerianists and all the Biafrans that are still believing that they are Nigerians. Are you aware that Nigeria altogether has paid 10.6 million US dollars for lobbying firms? Yes, so to hide the genocide that is going on in Nigeria. Yeah, not to protect you, not to develop any infrastructure, not to even provide security for you, but to American lobbyists to hide the truth about Christian persecution. You see, something is really happening now that I've seen. It is trending. I don't know if you're against that, you can put in the comment section. It's like everybody is out there to get money from those that claim they are Nigerians. Once you open your mouth and say, I can convince Washington, D.C. to hide the genocide, bam, they give you contracts. Like the one Choma Akoma is doing. People know that they cannot deliver, but because you have promised to pay them, excuse me, they accept the deal. We know very well. Now they are changing their tone. Oh, you see, the man is not going to enter into finished court. He's just going to connect internationally, connect with EU, connect with UK, connect with France, in case they want to repatriate our former prime minister. What if you were the man? What will you do? This is business. You will collect the contract, but you know deep down inside you that there is a government called Biafra Republic Government in exile. That these people don't have the legal entity to even contract you. But what are you supposed to do? Collect the money. Go to Finland, collect money for your hotel. You can go with your family, spend time, and then come back and tell them lies. They will believe because they are stupid people. The same people that fought against Aman Dabiri from connecting with our prime minister, the same people now are going to get external lawyer to still go to that same Finland. No be juju be that. So what is also playing out, excuse me, is the same with Nigeria. Once they hear that there is a lobbying firm here, and then they contract the person, you say, I can do it. I'm very close to Trump. I'm very close to this one. I'm very close to that one. Give me money. So everybody is sharing money to anyone that says, I can deliver. That is what is trending now. So right now, Nigeria has gone into 3 contracts. AU, 3 contracts. Yes, I will break this contract. I'll break it down contract by contract, dollar by dollar, name by name, so that we understand fully the full scale of this corruption. Please, if I say anyone that it doesn't align, just hold on when you pick the mic and you can give your own submission. Yeah, if you have anything to add to what I'm saying and you are not on the mic, you can use the comment section. Now we know the general one, which is DCI group. 9 million to deny the genocide, right? And we know that in December 2025, the terrorist country, through a law firm, we know the law firm, Asta Legal in Kaduna, they signed a contract with DCI Group on behalf of Ribadu. And they have a lobbying firm in Washington, D.C. We know that one. And now, we know that they have been paid according to the contract language to do what? Communicate Nigerians' efforts to protect Christians to the United States government and counter allegations of genocide. Now, this is the money that they pay to this lobbying firm. Effort to protect, not that they are protecting. So when you see Christians being killed today, they are not going against what the contract stipulated, because the contract did not say to communicate Nigerians protecting Christians. The contract said to communicate Nigerians' effort to do what? To protect. So it is very, very passive. It is inactive right now. That is the reason you see them killing Christians, because they did not say protecting. I don't know if you are following me. And now they are being paid this money, 750,000 to tell Washington DC that Nigerian Christians are not being persecuted and that there is no genocide, that allegations of religious violence are just exaggerated. You see what is happening? 9 million to deny what happened this week. Over 300 Christians that were massacred. 9 million. And they have another contract, which is the second one, with BGL groups. BGL group, they are to pay them 900,000 US dollars for more propaganda. Now, look at what is happening. On January 23rd this year, just 2 weeks ago, they signed another lobbying contract. And this one is through a company called Martin Engineering Nigeria Limited. Martin Engineering Nigeria Limited. You can Google it as we speak. You see? So the company is BGL Group, which is another top-tier Washington lobbying firm. And the amount is 900,000, as I've said, for 6 good months. So monthly, they'll be receiving $150,000 per month. Now, if you look at this Martin Engineering, it is a company that says it specializes in electrical, civil, mechanical, and dredging work for oil and gas companies. That is what they are into. So they've covered work for Chevron, they've covered work for Shell, and even Total Energies. You understand? But the question I was asking, why is an engineering company hiring a Washington lobbying firm? Why? Matthew, who is the Martin chairman, is already a billionaire. You understand? And he's also the vice chairman of Tanita Security Services. So this is a man that has a very deep connections to Nigerian security and political elite. So they have such a man, but they cannot fight against the insecurity happening in Nigeria. So he's using his company to, transfer money to American lobbyists. Now, if you now ask, who is leading this BGL contract? There is a man called Scott Isner. So before he joined this BGL, he was president of the USA African Business Center and a senior vice president at the US Chamber of Commerce. So this man knows how to work the Washington power structure very well. And he has 3 members in his team. He has Jeffrey, he has Lester Moon, all this one no be a problem. But these are not random bloggers. That is the point I'm trying to make here. They are heavyweight political operatives. So that is the second person that Nigeria has signed contract with. And then they have signed another contract that the Congress persons made reference to in the congressional hearing of day before yesterday. And they call this one Valco Global, 720,000 US dollars for just Trump connections. Hey. So Nigeria still was not done. So when this happened on December 15, Martin Engineering signed another contract with a firm called Valco. So Martin Engineering have signed 2 good contracts. Did you see what is happening? First one with BGR, and then the second one with this Valco. So this one is particularly important because of who is running this Valco, which is Matt Mower. And this Matt Mower served as a senior White House advisor in the State Department during Trump's first administration. And he has direct connection to the Trump's team. Very, very correct. He knows how to navigate. When you are close to someone, you know how to navigate, to have one-on-one discussion with that person. And his team also include teenage Congressman John Turner, another heavyweight lobby. And then, the battle, if we understand what is happening now, as Biafrans, with this mental toughness, the battle now is between our lobbying firm, Washington and Madison LLC, and Nigerian government.
Bam.
They have hired 3 lobbying firms to counter the work of the Biafra Republic government in exile and what our lobbying firm is doing. So in total, 10.6 million in 6 months have been disbursed. 10.6 million. DCI 9 million.
To buy you.
BGR 900,000. I don't know if my mathematics is correct. And then Valcor 720,000 in 6 months. I think if you add that, you have 10,620,000 or thereabouts. You see, this money could have been used to do something tangible in Nigeria.
Give you life.
They would have used it to build multiple trauma centers in Benue, where people are being attacked frequently. They would have even used this money to train and equip communities with security personnel. I said, okay, gather your youth, take weapons here. But they refused to do that. They did not do it. They would have used this money to also drill boreholes, as Rallimore went and said, oh, that where he went to, he saw that there was no sanity in the place. Nothing like that happened in the place. No borehole, no first aid, no medical attention, nothing. They would have used this money to build schools to replace the dozens that have been destroyed, or even compensate families that have been massacred, the victims that are left. But they did not. Instead, that money went to American public relations firm to tell America that Christians are not being persecuted. That is what they used the money for. To counter allegations of genocide. You see, when you go back to the congressional exposure, because that briefing that they had, they exposed Nigeria very, very deep. Because you could see that all this lobbying did not work. U.S. House Foreign Affairs Committee, they held a briefing, hearing that titled Defending Religious Freedom Around the World. And Nigeria was front and center of this hearing. Everybody talked about Nigeria. Congressman Chris Smith, who is the chairman of the African Subcommittee, directly called out this lobbying contract. And I'm going to say exactly what he said. He said, I am deeply concerned that Nigeria hired the lobbying firm DCI Group to the tune of $9 million US. That is $750,000 per month. And a Nigerian billionaire has entered into 120,000 a month contract with Valcor. You now know the millionaire I'm talking about. The Mantle Engineering. That is, he's already a billionaire. So he has entered into this contract with Valcor to influence Congress and the executive branch. He said, they hired these firms. They came up with their very well, did you hear that? Very well written talking points to say nothing to see here. And unfortunately, these firms are just so good at advocating for their clients. Nigeria did not go for my people. They went for heavyweight lobbying firm. You could see that Chris Smith said that they are so good at advocating for their clients. And he continued. He said the lobbying deals appear to be aimed at what? Downplaying serious human rights and religious freedom violation. You see, the only savior that we have is that the people that make up this committee, they know fully well what is happening in Nigeria, and they cannot manipulate them. So what the lobbyists have done does not have impact on them. So when the lobbying firm go and have meeting with such people like this, Smith and all of them, they'll say, pack one side. We already know what is happening. You cannot lobby us to call white black and black white. Because we are Christians. It's not about money. It's about the lives of Christians that are perished, slaughtered viciously every day in Nigeria. Because we have had first-hand information. So when you look at what is happening now, the man really knows the aim of this lobbying, that their aim is to downplay serious human rights and religious freedom violation in Nigeria. In other words, that they are collecting money to come and tell us there is no genocide. And Trump came out and said yesterday during the breakfast prayer meeting that there is genocide going on in Nigeria, and he bragged about how they carried out their strike to deal with ISIS. He did not mince word, showing that the lobbying is not working. So when a US senior congressman in an official hearing is publicly calling out Nigeria for spending millions to hide Christian persecution, he's not saying it is not working. And he's saying he's saying that it is not working. We are above this level. You cannot confuse us. So the lobbying contracts have been exposed because he knows their aim to downplay the genocide. The strategy has been revealed, and the Congress is pushing forward anyways with sanctions. You see what is happening? So it means a lot to us Biafrans, which we have to put our houses together and come together and fund our freedom, because the United States of America will not give us our freedom on a platter of gold. They have seen that Nigeria is already a complicit in killing Christians. They cannot deceive the international forum anymore. So the 9 million lobby has failed, and every other lobby. Now you've heard that there are 3 contracts that Nigerian terrorist countries have signed out. This is the reason why you have seen US boots on the ground. They have lost it. Despite spending this million, despite hiring the most expensive firms and employing Nigerian billionaires to wine and dine with congresspersons, Nigeria still could not stop what happened. Remember what Nigerian officials were saying just months ago. Oh, they said American military intervention would never happen. The same way they said Muslim ticket is not going to happen. And they said it was Biafra propaganda. Oh, they said the US would never violate Nigerian sovereignty. And they've been spending all these millions, to hide the Christian persecution. And then what happened? We saw the airstrike in December. And early February, what happened? We saw the US African forces deployed to Nigeria immediately. America boots are now on Nigeria ground. Bam. 9 million and every other 10.620 million wasted. The lobbying failed. You see? And now Nigerian officials, they are panicking because they know what this means to them. They had to run to Turkey. They know that once American forces are on the ground, Nigeria's freedom to act with impunity is over. They know that US intelligence will see everything. And accountability is coming as well. Why are they in Nigeria, not in Biafra land? It is something a question some people are still asking. There is this information that every Biafran needs to understand. And I will try with my speakers that will pick the mic. The USA strike on Christmas Day targeted Sokoto State, which is the heart of the Sokoto Caliphate, the seat of the Islamic Authority in northern Nigeria. Until today, as we speak, Sultan of Sokoto has not come out of the shock. And you see that the US forces that have now deployed are operating primarily in the north and northeast part, in areas where Boko Haram, ISWAP, Lakorowa are all operating, and all the 22 terrorist groups, they are there. But they are not deployed in Biafra land. They are not in the southeast region, which is Biafra land. They are not in Old Akwa Ibom or Old Cross River or Old Anambra and the rest. No, they are not there. And this is the people that the Nigerian terrorists have labeled a terrorist organization, which is aligning with Turkey for them to send their weapons to come and kill us. They claim that we, Biafrans, agitators, are the security threat to them. Okay. They've called us so many names, unknown gunmen. They are terrorizing, destabilizing the country. For years, they have used this narrative to justify military operations in our Biafra land, killing our youths, harvesting their organs, and selling their body parts. They have done everything possible to suppress our movement. But when the United States, the world's most powerful military, with the world-based intelligence agency, deploy forces to Nigeria to fight terrorism, where do they go? They did not come to Biafra land. They went to where the terrorists are. They went to Sokoto. They went to Borno, sorry, to the places where the actual terrorists are, hiding, which Donald Trump called ISIS scum. This is a proof. This is a validation. This is the United States telling the world Biafrans are not the terrorists. Telling Finland that Simon Ekpa, our previous prime minister, is not a terrorist and he was never involved in anything terrorism. Telling Nigerian government that have denied our Onyendu and denied him freedom and sent him to Sokoto prison that he is not a terrorist. That he was only fighting for the freedom of his people. And everything Onyendu said have come to pass. They are slaughtering people. Because if we were the real threat, US forces would be deployed to our region. But they were not, because US intelligence community knows the truth. You cannot derail them from the truth. They know that we, Biafrans, we are undergoing what they call self-determination movement, and it is not a crime. We are not a terrorist group. All the accusations are lies. But you know what? I just want to clarify two different scenarios here. Current deployment versus Briggy strategic proposal that we made. Now, let's look at the two situations right now before I pass the mic. Because I know some of us might be confused or have questions about this US military presence, especially because the Biafra Republic government in exile has publicly stated an independent Biafra would offer United States military base right. Is there in the document? Because of time, I cannot extract it out and start reading. So I just want to try my best to clarify these crucial differences between these two scenarios, because understanding this distinction is very, very important. Now let's look at scenario one, which is the current US deployment. This is happening right now in Nigeria, and if you look at this scenario, it's a temporary one and a limited deployment of the US military specialists invited by the Nigerian government, even though they have come out to deny. Nigerian government signed an agreement with US agency when they went to Rome. So the document is there. They cannot deny it. You see? So now, the current situation now, Nigerian government invited these people to come. To do what? They had a purpose. And the purpose was to assist Nigerian forces in fighting Boko Haram, in fighting ISWAP, and the remaining 20 terrorist jihadist group that they have. And they are primarily in northern Nigerian state, like Sokoto, Borno, and all that, where the jihadists are operating. And it has, temporary mission, not a permanent base. And they are operating under Nigerian sovereignty. Nigeria can, theoretically ask them to leave at any time. Do they have a scope? The answer is yes, they have a scope. Advisory. They are to give, share intelligence. They are to carry out training and targeted operations against specific terrorist group. Let's see how it will work. And it has, benefit to Biafrans in the sense that it's, indirectly, it proves that we are not terrorists by where they deploy these people. And it also validates Christian persecution narrative. You see, this deployment exists within the framework, my people listen, within the framework of the current Nigerian state. So the US is working with Nigeria, however reluctantly on Nigeria's part to address jihadist terrorism. So these forces are not there to protect Biafrans specifically. Get that right. They are there because the massacre got so bad that the US had to intervene to prevent genocide-level events. The second scenario now has to do with we Biafrans now, which we have to look at the Briggy proposal for a US military base in independent Biafra. This is future strategic vision. Yes. So we don't have to mix up the two. The one Briggy did is a permanent strategic partnership that would exist after Biafra independence. That is, if we are ready. If we are ready, because it is in our hands. It is never in the hands of our leaders in prison. For those of you fighting freedom, fighting like lily-livered people, attaching your freedom with emotions to your leaders that are in detention, waiting for them to give you advice. So if you want US military base to be stationed in Biafra land, they will come after our independence. Now, who will be the one, a sovereign nation, an independent Biafran government, not the current Nigerian government that will invite them. Our government will be the one that will invite them. And the purpose will be long-term strategic partnership, counter-terrorism, regional stability, protecting democratic governance and securing energy resources, containing all Islamic expansion in West Africa. And the location will be in Biafra territory, with access to the Gulf of Guinea. It's not going to be temporal. It's going to be permanent military base. Like the US have their base in Japan. I think they also have in Germany and the rest. Even South Korea, they have. So they will, operate under Biafra sovereignty in partnership with Biafran government that shares Western democratic values. Will they have a scope? Yes. Full military base with rapid response capability, intelligence sharing, operational top-notch. Of course, we know United States. Counter-terrorism coordination, even training of our Biafra forces. So we're going to have a benefit, direct benefit. We are going to have economic investment through that, diplomatic recognition and all that, and protection from the Nigerian aggression because they will not back down. So this will be, a voluntary partnership between two sovereign states, which will be United States of Biafra and United States of America. So it will be similar to how the US has bases in allied countries around the world, which we are going to share mutual benefits. So these two scenarios are completely different. Completely different. I don't know if I'm making sense. Can anybody still hear me?
Yes, we will refresh. Yes. Are you hearing?